Did you know that right now, countries are pouring billions into weapons, military technology, and defense strategies as if bracing for an imminent conflict? Picture a world where geopolitical tensions have reached a boiling point, with strategic alliances, unprecedented budgets, and military maneuvers shaping a scenario that could alter history's course. Most unsettlingly, some experts predict 2025 will be a pivotal year. In this video, we'll explore 10 countries actively preparing for war, analyzing their motivations, strategies, and what this means for the global future. The final country might change everything. Let's dive in. Number 10. Japan. Japan's military history is marked by cycles of strengthening and restraint, shaping East Asia's geopolitical landscape. Today, Japan faces rising tensions from China's maritime expansion and North Korea's missile tests, which threaten not just Japan but the entire region. This explains why Tokyo approved a massive defense budget increase, over 25% higher than previous years, now exceeding $51 billion. The acquisition of 105 F-35 fighter jets positions Japan as the largest foreign operator of these aircraft, signaling its resolve to protect territorial waters and maintain regional stability. Japan's focus isn't just on air power. It's also advancing cyber capabilities to shield government and economic infrastructure from sophisticated digital threats. This sends a clear message to neighbors and allies about its commitment to safeguarding interests in potential hostile scenarios. The dispute over the Saku Islands with China is a key driver, pushing Tokyo to bolster its military presence while balancing diplomatic efforts to avoid direct clashes. Despite stable trade ties with Beijing, China's naval expansion raises undeniable concerns, prompting Japan to maintain a strategic balance to prevent regional disruptions. North Korea's persistent threat underscores the need for advanced deterrence, backed by cutting-edge technology and close ties with the United States, whose Pacific military presence is a cornerstone. Japan's partnerships with Western powers reflect a genuine interest in intelligence sharing and defense cooperation, anticipating risks in 2025. This compels Tokyo to take a more active role in regional security, modernizing its arsenal to protect the archipelago and deter threats to its sovereignty. Domestically, Japan's society views these policies cautiously. Some fear defense spending could divert resources from social programs, while others see it as essential for national integrity. As a densely populated urbanized island reliant on secure maritime routes and stable neighbors, any geopolitical disruption threatens Japan's prosperity, built on its post-war pacifist reputation. Though its constitution limits offensive military action, recent legal revisions and parliamentary debates suggest a loosening of these constraints, highlighting the urgency of the situation. With eyes on 2025, Japan strengthens alliances and prepares for contingencies once deemed unlikely, signaling it won't hesitate to use force if needed. Each cooperative agreement and technological advance underscores Japan's shift from passive observer to proactive player on the global chessboard. Number 9. Turkey, strategically bridging Europe and Asia, has undergone a significant transformation in its defense policy. A 150% military budget increase, now at $28 billion, reflects Ankara's intent to bolster its armed forces and project influence across the Middle East and Mediterranean. Central to this is the expansion of its drone industry, particularly the AI-equipped TB2, proven effective in various conflicts. Turkey aims for technological autonomy, reducing reliance on foreign suppliers while enhancing surveillance and precision strike capabilities. This shift occurs amid territorial disputes with Greece in the Aegean Sea, fueled by energy exploration and diplomatic clashes. Turkey seeks to assert its sovereignty and emphasize regional stability for trade and energy routes. In Syria, Turkey maintains a military presence to counter Kurdish groups it views as threats to its territorial integrity, launching ground and air operations despite international controversy. This nationalist stance resonates domestically. Turkey positions itself as a geopolitical pivot, mediating crises and cooperating with Russia and Iran despite ideological differences and Western criticism of its Moscow ties. This multi-directional policy balances alliances, though it sparks suspicion among capitals wary of Turkey's ambition to reshape regional power dynamics. In the Mediterranean, Turkey strengthens its claim over hydrocarbon reserves and maritime routes, deploying warships and drones to counter challenges from Greece and Cyprus. Army and Air Force modernization projects an image of strength to deter adversaries. With nearly 85 million people and deep patriotism, Turkey prepares for 2025 with a robust military and rapid response capabilities. Its leadership sees defense as key to shielding against regional instability and securing international legitimacy, aiming for a starring role in looming global events. Number 8. Iran. Iran faces a complex regional landscape of historical tensions, sectarian rivalries, and struggles over maritime routes and resources. A 35% defense budget increase, exceeding $22 billion, underscores Tehran's focus on advanced missiles, like the 450-kilometer range Karshin, capable of threatening neighboring military and economic targets. Iran's growing military drone production heightens concerns among states viewing it as a destabilizing force in the Middle East. Tehran defends its right to self-protection, citing external threats and crippling sanctions. Iran extends influence through allies like Hezbollah in Lebanon and factions in Yemen and Iraq, countering rival powers. Analysts see this as a deterrence strategy to balance U.S., Israeli, and Saudi military pressures. Naval disputes in the Persian Gulf and Red Sea, critical for global oil trade, raise fears of escalation after ship interceptions. Iran's 85 million citizens endure economic sanctions and political restrictions, yet nationalism bolsters support for the military's readiness. Iran's pursuit of historical prestige and leadership in the Shiite Islamic world fuels competition with Sunni powers. By 2025, tensions with Israel and the U.S. could intensify, driving Iran's focus on weaponry and cyber defense. Ready for potential confrontations, Iran's decisions could significantly disrupt regional stability. Number 7. South Korea. South Korea, with a vibrant economy and over 50 million people, navigates a divided peninsula and shifting geopolitics. An 8% defense budget increase, surpassing $52 billion, aims to counter North Korea's missile tests and nuclear development. Joint U.S. exercises involving 300,000 troops showcase South Korea's technological and tactical prowess for deterrence. The THAAD system, designed to intercept missiles, draws China's ire, wary of U.S. influence. F-35A Air Force modernization ensures superiority over potential aggressors. Seoul maintains diplomatic channels with Pyongyang, aware the status quo isn't sustainable long-term. Domestically, debates weigh U.S. reliance against strategic autonomy, balancing security with reunification aspirations. Most agree military buildup is vital, given North Korea's unpredictability. South Korea also seeks a larger Indo-Pacific role, diversifying alliances with Japan and Australia. Its export-driven economy relies on regional stability, pushing Seoul to mitigate U.S.-China rivalry impacts. By 2025, South Korea prepares for scenarios from inter-Korean dialogue to heightened tensions, knowing its global role could shift rapidly. Number 6. India. India, with over 1.4 billion people, emerges as a global leader. A 15% military budget increase, exceeding $73 billion, prioritizes defense amid border clashes with China. Modernized ground forces and disputed area presence deter territorial incursions. With millions of troops, India focuses on coordination and advanced equipment for large-scale challenges. Naval expansion in the Indian Ocean protects trade routes and counters China's influence, bolstered by the Quad alliance with the U.S., Japan, and Australia. India boosts its defense industry to reduce import reliance, creating jobs and fostering innovation in robotics, AI, and electronics. Despite internal challenges, ethnic tensions, and economic disparities, India eyes 2025, wary of deteriorating China ties or new Pakistan crises. Its military modernization and demographic weight position India to shape South Asia's political and military future. Number 5. Israel, with nearly 10 million people and a conflict-ridden history, strengthens its military. An 18% budget increase to $27 billion enhances air defenses like Iron Dome and advanced AO-4 systems against rockets. Threats from Lebanon's Hezbollah, with over 300 rocket attacks in 2024, and northern border concerns drive these efforts. Cyber capabilities counter infrastructure sabotage attempts, with investments in drones, AI, and surveillance. Israel deepens U.S. and European ties while exploring Arab partnerships wary of Iran. Internal political instability, Palestinian tensions, and Gaza's complexities challenge cohesion. Mandatory conscription embeds a vigilant security culture. By 2025, Israel anticipates heightened Iran tensions and extremist activity, accelerating high-tech defense and regional pacts to maintain military superiority in a volatile Middle East. Number 4. Ukraine. Ukraine's conflict with Russia since Crimea's 2014 annexation fuels Europe's instability. A defense budget equaling 30% of GDP, $48 billion, funds arms, drones, and military modernization against Russian pressure. Drone strikes on rival infrastructure aim to balance power but risk escalation. NATO's $50 billion aid in 2024 underscores Western support. Diplomatically, Ukraine seeks EU and US integration, though NATO membership remains contentious, provoking Moscow. Years of conflict have battered Ukraine, yet nationalism drives military modernization. Local drone production enhances autonomy. By 2025, Ukraine faces an uncertain future, with ongoing Russian conflict or potential escalation unless robust agreements emerge. The population hopes for peace, reliant on military resilience and global backing. Number 3. Russia's foreign and defense policies pivot on its Ukraine campaign. A $16 billion budget, 7% of GDP, fuels relentless arms production. In the Arctic, Russia establishes bases and deploys missiles to dominate emerging maritime routes and resources, countering Western influence. Military recruitment reforms expand forces through extended service and incentives. The Kremlin frames its Western confrontation as resisting NATO's eastward expansion, justifying Ukraine operations and rejecting sanctions. Russia leans on China for energy and counter-U.S. cooperation. Domestically, polarization splits patriotic support and those fearing prolonged conflict's costs. By 2025, Russia aims to consolidate territorial gains, deter NATO, and bolster Middle East and North African influence. Missile, air defense, and cyber investments ensure Russia's decisive role amid global tensions. Number 2. China. China solidifies its military ascent with a $230 billion budget, up 7.6%. Advanced destroyers, carriers, and missiles rival U.S. naval power. Escalating pressure on Taiwan, with record air incursions, reflects Beijing's claim over the island. Cyber attacks on Western targets highlight multi-front competition. Joint Russia exercises near Japan signal alignment to counter U.S. hegemony, though driven by tactical interests. Patriotic narratives, rooted in historical grievances, bolster military support, despite censored debates. With 1.4 billion people, China's recruitment and industrial capacity fuel modernization in AI, robotics, and aerospace. By 2025, Taiwan and South China Sea disputes remain flashpoints, with China's growth reshaping global geopolitics. Number 1. United States. The U.S. remains the world's top military power, with an $840 billion budget funding cutting-edge tech, global bases, and versatile troops. The Indo-Pacific sees reinforced deployments in Guam and the Philippines to counter China and secure trade routes. Joint exercises like Defender 2024 with Japan, Australia, and NATO test interoperability. Cyber defense counters Russia and China's attacks on critical infrastructure, with investments in early detection and private sector collaboration. Multiple fronts, Ukraine support, China trade tensions, pressure U.S. policy. Domestically, debates pit defense spending against domestic needs, though many back overwhelming force for global influence. By 2025, the U.S. prioritizes alliances and conflict readiness, from Asia confrontations to cyber threats, determined to maintain leadership via its vast network and military might. The escalating tensions and military buildup paint an uncertain 2025. Will we witness a defining conflict, or will diplomacy prevail? If this journey intrigued you, hit like, subscribe, and join us to dive deeper into events shaping our world's future.